Hello everybody, welcome to the video. This is my introduction to Supplemental September. I'm so excited about how this entire month is going to go. This is my forte, this is what I love talking about, this is exactly what I've done absolute research on. I'm so looking forward, that was quite passionate, absolute research on. And I'm really looking forward to sharing the ideas and the knowledge that all of us have about supplements, but also obviously my knowledge with you, because I pretty much have tried most things, and a lot of these things on the board behind me are things that I've tried. Which I'm going to come to in a second, actually. So I just wanted to introduce it. It's going to be fantastic Supplemental September. We're going to be talking about all the supplements in the world that I've found great benefits for people who suffer with CFS, ME, fibromyalgia, and of course now adrenal fatigue. And I would really like to welcome you to the experience. So without further ado, let's begin straight away. What I've done here is I've done a little mind map for us. And the mind map that I've done is coded in colour. So what we've got here is we've got the black writing, which is obviously the supplements. But in addition to that, what I've done is I've put purple sections around those particular minerals or vitamins that I'm using, because they're the ones that I have refined all of this down to as my elixir, as it were, of excellent supplements. And I'll explain why now. So let's start with electrolytes. If we start with electrolytes and we talk about that in relation to adrenal fatigue, or we talk about that in terms of imbalances of sodium and potassium within the system. In particular, when we've got adrenal fatigue, it's really important we realise that our sodium and potassium is very much out of sync. So somebody who would consume sodium would feel a lot better with adrenal fatigue, but somebody who consumes potassium feels worse. So for example, if you feel worse after a banana, you actually, that's got a high potassium content, and that would indicate that your adrenals are struggling somewhat. And the science behind that, of course, is due to a reduced aldosterone level. And because of a reduced aldosterone level, once again to do with the kidneys, your sodium goes down and you may start suffering with arrhythmias. You may feel really dehydrated, which is certainly what I used to. And you may also ever have a racing heartbeat called tachycardia. All of those, 100% I had. So that's why I've shared that with you. So I take electrolytes. If you want to know which electrolytes they are these ones here from a company called MyProtein, and they're really good. It does have potassium and sodium and calcium and magnesium in, but the amount of potassium is really minimal in there. So that's really, really useful for me. The next one that I've been using a lot of, and this one, oh my god, this one I've got to tell you about. This is out of this world. This is hyaluronic acid, chondroitin and collagen. When we've got adrenal fatigue, ME, chronic fatigue, fibro, I really genuinely believe that all of those fall into the same category. I genuinely do. When you've got cortisol problems, for example, that cortisol is catabolic. That means that it'll break down your muscles, your tendons, your ligaments, and so on and so forth. It will do that. Now, in order to counteract that effect, hyaluronic is extremely useful because it's a wonderful lubricant. It reduces eye pain and joint pain, and it helps to retain collagen. I've got that here in the green writing. So the green writing, by the way, if you want to know where the colour codes are, that's what the green writing is. It's the information to do with it. Chondroitin sulfate is extremely powerful as an anti-inflammatory, actually, and I think that is also partly why it benefits us in our pain management, in our fibro pain. And in addition to that, obviously, it will help with osteoarthritis. Now, the research on that is controversial, but I would say, from my experience, it definitely has helped with reductions in pain. Collagen to mitigate, as I said, against the catabolic effects of cortisol. Another one that I'm loving taking, and by the way, let me show you that one. So the hyaluronic acid is this one, and on the back, it does tell you that it contains collagen, hyaluronic acid, and chondroitin sulfate, and it is fantastic. So please do have a look at that. This is a little bit pricey, but I can't recommend it enough. And really, strangely, my brain function went through the roof when I first started taking these. But be careful, one full tablet can cause digestive issues, so you've got to be careful. I always take it in 2 halves because it avoids that stomach rumbling scenario. Okay, vitamin B2, amazing, absolutely amazing. There have been many studies about depression and vitamin B2 actually. It does have a very, very positive effect on mood, etc., mood and anxiety. It is called riboflavin because flavin is the yellow part and the ribo is the ribose part, which also may be a reason with why, for example, the ribose part is benefiting us. But it is fantastic. It's really important to maintain the right amount of oxygen in our system, and it's incredibly useful for the breakdown of carbs, fats, and proteins. So that is, again, to do with energy release. Moving it over to here, magnesium is the spark plug for your cells. So you can it will ignite the cells into the production of ATP. And if I remember correctly, it's involved with 400 chemical reactions within the body. So it's an absolutely vital mineral. But I will say that I will take magnesium citrate because it is better absorbed than magnesium oxide, for example, which is the poor man's cousin. Magnesium citrate is far better absorbed. I only take it in 100 milligram doses because too many of these can cause arrhythmias. Heart arrhythmias, the fluttering of the heart, and that is not pleasant. So that's 100 milligrams of magnesium that I'll take. It's also incredibly useful. I don't know whether you guys suffered with it, but I know a lot of CFS sufferers often have twitching, which is horrendous and it's so awkward. It's horrible. The eye twitching, everything twitching. It was horrendous. This really helps with, magnesium really helps with that. Very good for cardiac functions and nerve function. Fish oils, EPA, DHA, are 30% of your brain matter. My fish oils that I use are these ones. These are, they do contain vitamin D as well, which is incredible. Remember, vitamin D is involved with 900 different chemical reactions within the body, and therefore it's fairly important. So I would highly recommend taking, I take 2 of these a day, which actually technically gives me 200% of my RDA, but I mitigate of vitamin D, I should say. But I mitigate against vitamin D leaching calcium out of the bones, which it can do because it needs the calcium for absorption. To avoid that, I always have it with a glass of milk, or a couple actually, because I want to ensure that my bones don't get weak. So you've got to be very careful when we have enough to deal with without having weak bones as well. All right, so that is fish oils. Remember, as I said, DHA, which I think is docohexaonic acid, EPA are superb for brain function. As I said, it's got 30% of your brain matter is actually constituted of DHA, EPA. So hopefully that's going to be helpful for you. I just thought I'd introduce you to Supplemental September on Elite Health and Wellness. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do try and find us on Facebook. Elite Health and Wellness is my group. Please request a join. It is a closed group. And if you're already a member of Elite Health and Wellness, oh my God, this month is going to be fantastic. That is just the start. I've got all of these other little horrors to go through, and I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you. Okay, so best of luck and all the best with your health and healing. Thank you. Oh, and as I said, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, like, and if you've got any comments, leave them in the box below. Thank you.